Noisy pixel.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to a new show that we're trying here on our YouTube channel called the Noisy Pixel Discussions, where we talk about big reveals and trailers. Today, we are going to talk about the new Ghost of Tsushima trailer that just dropped on Sony's State of Play for May 14th, 2020. I'm here with Mark.
What is going on? I am happy to be here talking about some games that were watched.
Just one game, Mark.
True. Gotta watch the Portal.
18 minutes of one game. This is the new Sucker Punch game. It's coming out on July 14th, 2020 on PlayStation 4. It's an exclusive. Mark, general reactions. What did you think?
Well, first, I just want to say that when it comes to PlayStation exclusives, I am not one to purchase. But now, in the general grand scheme of things, just seeing this for the first time, I thought it was a beautiful looking game, very well crafted environment, like extreme depth of field, and you really get that like open, immerse feeling. But I want you to go forward and talk about more of the gameplay, maybe that we saw, other than the environment here.
Yeah, my general reaction of it, we'll get into this more when we kind of dissect what was talked about, is that it is a beautiful game. Have I seen it before? And we'll get into that now, I suppose. The game opens up with just a short trailer, or the gameplay opens up with just a short trailer and shows the environments, and it introduces viewers to Jin as he kind of walks around and explores. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe you can explain this to me. But there was like wind and animals that were leading him. What was that all about?
Right. So it seemed like, well, the wind seemed like more of a main concept of the environment of the game to add to that samurai feel, but the wind was directing, like you were able to, let's say, click a button and ping the wind to come in to direct you like like one of those little indicators that go on the floor and tell you where to go in these open mass fields. But the thing about like they have in certain areas when you discover them, maybe like a bird or a fox that come in and are in the area. And if you follow them, they take you to like let's say hidden loot or areas that you may have not found without the assistance of the I guess the sprites in the game, the foxes and the birds.
I'm going to say right now, I don't want the fox to lead me to places because that takes away the sense of discovery. I found the fox, sure, but the fox led me to something else that I could have found on my own.
It's true, it's very linear.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's always strange to see, in development wise at least, how they go about guiding the player. At least this fits the tone. And they could have did something where like you pull up this futuristic map and it kind of shows you where to go and what to do. But the game's definitely, I don't know if you've played or spent much time playing this game, Horizon Zero Dawn. It definitely has those vibes of there's an open world, there's a bunch of stuff to do, there's missions to go on, there's materials to collect, things that guide you, have fun, pretty much.
Now I'm going to cut you off here. Now I didn't play that game, but what was the actual gameplay of that? Like, I know what you're talking about, that game. Like, what was it? What did it entail?
This
What did you have to
girl
do?
this girl kind of never leaves or whatever. They're fighting against these robots, and after like the first 2 hours of gameplay, you get set out into the open world, and then you discover or you uncover all of these mysteries about this past technology and using the abilities of this tech to take control over monsters or robotic monsters that are also coexisting with you. It's a lot of back and forth and a lot of just stealth little gameplay. It looks a lot like this game environment wise. I mean, this game looks much prettier than that one, even though they're both very pretty games. But I don't know, just the single player aspect of this game. I'm not seeing anything, especially with the guides. I'm not seeing anything that's really blowing me away besides the setting, which is my favorite part about Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I think just looking at it again over like a giant umbrella, it just feels and just looks like a PlayStation exclusive, which is a good thing and I guess a bad thing because I just feel like you said, like it would just feel like a reskin of exactly what I've played before. I mean, it looked amazing, but like the combat, I feel like with the samurai vibe that they had, it was just so open to such a variety of like different types of combat, at least based on what we're looking at and they showed. It didn't seem like there was so much variety. It just seemed like you have your basic stealth mechanic that was that's already been implemented in the gaming world. You sneak up on someone, click a button and they get assassinated. Or you have the other side, which is just it's just kind of like a waiting slow motion slash. It looks cool, but I just feel like or at least I hope that they add a lot more dimension to the combat, because right now it just seems like it's a lot of waiting and just a lot of the repeated type of stuff where the skill set and the skill cap kind of just gets evened out really quick, and it's just a lot of running around the map. But again, great. I mean, it looks really good. It looks visually enticing and something new on the visual side. I'm just worried about the gameplay.
One thing that, well, okay, so talking on that, let's get into the combat. Were two different combat modes shown, a samurai mode and a ghost mode. The samurai mode is where Jin kind of walks into a camp, an enemy camp, and can pretty much rule the battlefield there. Jin will enter a camp very confidently as a samurai and take out all of the enemies using kind of sword techniques. And I don't know, you're right, a slowdown mode that looks cool right now, but how many times can we kind of do that in a 10-hour, 20-hour adventure? I don't know. And then the ghost mode is where Jin comes at night and does all these special moves. He can throw some firecrackers on the ground as distractions. But you're right. Him like jumping on the roof and scaling it, we've
Mhm.
seen it before. And him jumping off of the roof, press triangle to assassinate, like it's
It's just like you're like you're babied through these games. You know what I mean? They kind of get so, I feel like, in depth with the visual aspect and the immersion, but I feel like they just kind of like forget about like what makes gameplay entertaining to these people who also like playing these story driven games, which this may be. I'm not sure yet. We only saw so much. And just adding to what you said about the different types of gameplay, like I'm not sure if you choose your type of like samurai or style of fighting in the beginning of the game, or let's say maybe your style of fighting changes automatically when you go to like nighttime versus the morning. You know what I mean? It seemed like the way they were presenting the game was that the assassinations and the stealth was happening like during night, and then during the day they ran into like a camp all full guns, well, not really guns, but full knives swinging
nice.
to take out the camp. So two different ways to like kind of loot and take out an enemy camp. Again, I don't really know too much about the background, but I'm
One thing
curious to see. I'm sorry, just let me finish this. I'm curious to see like how they'll let you choose your style of gameplay with this type of world.
when it comes to classes,
Yeah, like bringing up Skyrim. In the beginning of the game, you had like 10 to 20 different types of play styles you can commit to from the
mm,
beginning, and you were stuck in that. Like it wasn't based on day or night. So I'm curious to see how they play that.
or like a Neo 2 where you can choose your stance and that completely changes your actions, or change your weapon, which changes your combat ability. Yeah, there's definitely a range of ways that they could approach this kind of difference in battle systems, but right now we only saw the samurai and the ghost mode. One thing I really liked about the ghost mode is that the enemies started to fear you, where they would either run away or kind of fall down on the ground. I thought that was really cool. I loved that the AI kind of reacted to his presence.
Yeah, that was
Something
nice to see.
yeah, there was one part in the end of the mission where he goes to the back of the boat to start the fire, and they had that enemy just standing by the ladder, and I thought that's something that I've seen in like PS2, PS3 games, like where an enemy's just like standing, waiting for you to kill him pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know, I shouldn't have seen that there. I would have expected better, especially from a vertical slice showing. Like at least program this AI to be like looking out the edge of the ocean or hiding, trying to hide from the guy because he clearly knows that all these people are screaming. I just wish that the AI reacted that way instead of just standing facing a ladder. not really doing anything.
He was not even I don't even think he was looking at the ladder. I think he was just, like, stuck in position, like, in the corner.
Very strange. And then the mission ends with you lighting the fire. Another thing about this is like it zooms out and it shows the whole park burning. I don't know how many times I could take on missions like this in a game. I don't like these Assassin's Creed type things where you climb the tower and you reveal the stuff. I mean, too many people do it. It just happens too often where here's 20 camps in this map and you have to clear all of them and that unlocks something. And I'm just like, this is the same thing over and over again. And I
Yeah.
hope they don't go that approach where you're just clearing, you have like these side missions where you just clear camps. It just sounds so boring.
Yeah, even like when he was looting inside of a building, like after you, let's say, kill the guys and go take out like the in the little tents and you find the items, even the items didn't seem like placed nice. It kind of was just on the floor, like easy to pick up, not creatively placed, or it just just seems like something that would just be repeated 18 camps throughout the game. Just this is a camp, you have to take this two items from this camp and then you do it again and again. And I want to be excited for this game, even though I don't have a PlayStation. But right now, like I'm halfway there, maybe. I'm scared for the gameplay. I really am. I think I'm just gonna be too boring for someone like me. I mean, maybe for someone else who's more into the again, like the immersion, I think it might be a great game, but I'm limited on information right now, to be honest.
One thing I can say that I really liked, and we've touched on this, but we can talk in detail, are the environments in this game are gorgeous. I they're showing like him walking through the forest and they have like these fall like leaves on the ground. They pulled off the look very well. I'm just
Very
blown away.
natural feeling. Very
I'm
natural.
blown away by it.
It does look quite yummy. And the samurai thing is cool. You don't see too many samurai games. It has like some Tomb Raider vibes where you're like jumping and scaling kind of mazes,
Yeah.
at least what I saw. And there's also that mixture of like that. I feel like the Last of Us kind of mechanics, the way you move about the map. There's a horse that you can ride around, kind of like that's cool. There's a lot of bite and play from a lot of different games that we're very familiar of, and I wonder how they will all put it together in this samurai world.
What they should have shown is it's just a story. I know they
Well, they
wanted
didn't show any story.
didn't show any story. The thing is like with a game with these types of mechanics, that's what's gonna set it apart in the end, you know? Because everything that they showed, I feel like I can take from other games, that I've already played. I'm like, oh, I've done that before. I've done that before. If they like showed how that blends with the narrative, it might allow it to stand out a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I might hurt some PlayStation Kids fans, but it just seems like a recycled PlayStation exclusive. To be honest, it doesn't feel new. We said it again. We'll say it again. It just doesn't feel new.
Yeah, compared to the other PlayStation exclusives, they have like Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, you've probably played You've probably played a lot of the different mechanics of this game in Horizon Zero Dawn already. But excited to know
I think
more.
that's most of the information that we got from that trailer and
Yeah, and
gameplay.
then they showed some customization where you find flowers and stuff, but I don't give a crap about that. There's no bathing suit DLC, so
No female samurai option, dude.
so count me out. I don't care.
Lame. Just men.
Regardless of how I feel about the mechanics and the straightforwardness of the mission structure, I think the game looks gorgeous, and I hope to be exploring this world soon. And the game releases on PlayStation 4 on July 17th. Mark, any closing thoughts on this?
Not really. Just I really hope it does well. I'm rooting for it. I thought it was cool, but I'm worried. I want good games to come out. That's it. I don't care on what platform, but just good games need to come out. That's it.
Well, thank you so much for listening, and please stick around to Noisy Pixel for more discussion videos, reviews, previews, news. We got it all. Follow us on Twitter at Noisy Pixel News. Follow us on everything at Noisy Pixel News. And thank you for your time. Bye.
See you nerds and samurai out.